Hello children, and welcome to another story time. Today I have a beautiful story for you about a little girl that becomes a princess. You might have heard of this one before. This one is called Cinderella. Alright, here we go. Once upon a time there lived a girl whose mother had passed away and whose father had married again. The new wife and her two daughters were very mean to the girl, who was forced to cook, sew, and wash and iron all day. See, she has to do all their chores. At night the girl slept by the fire's glowing cinders, so her ugly stepsisters called her Cinderella. One day a letter came from the royal palace. "The prince has invited us to a ball," shrieked one of the ugly stepsisters. It was an invitation to all the young ladies in the kingdom. At the end of the night, the prince was going to choose his bride. The day of the ball soon arrived, and the stepsisters were very excited. As they put their final touches to their outfits, Cinderella asked her stepmom what she might wear. "You're not going to the ball," laughed her stepmom and stepsisters cruelly. Oh, she's all sad. Poor Cinderella felt upset, so she ran outside and cried. But just then, a fairy appeared out of nowhere. "I'm your fairy godmother," the fairy said kindly. With a flick of her magic wand, fairy godmother transformed a nearby pumpkin into a beautiful carriage. She changed 2 mice into horses. Then she transformed a rat into a coachman and 2 lizards into footmen. They must help drive the carriage thing. Finally, she turned Cinderella's scruffy dress into a beautiful ball gown, and birds fluttered down with a pair of glass slippers. See, there's a beautiful ball gown, and the birds have got the 2 slippers. "Enjoy the ball," said the fairy godmother, "but make sure you're back by midnight or the spell will be broken." Cinderella thanked her fairy godmother and set off to the ball. The palace looked magical in the moonlight, and Cinderella was very excited. No one in the room recognized her at all, and everyone agreed she was the most beautiful young lady at the ball. The prince was enchanted by Cinderella's beauty, and he danced with her all night. As the clock crept slowly towards midnight, Cinderella was having such a wonderful time that she forgot to leave. Dong, dong, dong! Suddenly the clock struck 12, and Cinderella remembered what her fairy godmother had said. Without a word, Cinderella fled and vanished into the night, leaving one of her glass slippers behind on the palace stairs. The prince picked up the glass slipper and called out to his helper, "Go and search the kingdom for the girl whose foot fits the slipper. She is the girl I wish to marry." The weeks passed, and the prince's helper searched the whole kingdom until only Cinderella and her ugly stepsisters were left. The first ugly stepsister tried to squeeze and push her foot into the slipper, but no matter how hard she tried, her foot was too big. The second ugly stepsister tried the slipper on, but her foot was too small. "No luck here," exclaimed the prince's helper, and he turned to leave. "Wait!" cried Cinderella's father. "I have a daughter!" The stepmom and ugly stepsisters looked at him in disbelief. "Her! She didn't even go to the ball!" shrieked Cinderella's stepmom. Thought the helper, looking at Cinderella. "She seems familiar." And with that, Cinderella slipped her foot into the glass slipper, and it fit perfectly. Cinderella traveled nervously back to the palace, but she did not need worry. The prince recognized her at once as the beautiful girl he had danced with. "Will you marry me?" he asked Cinderella, taking her hand. "Yes," said Cinderella joyfully. Cinderella and the prince were married the very next day, and they lived happily ever after. And that's the end. So that's a beautiful story, and it all worked out for little Cinderella in the end. And she didn't have to do any more chores. because now she was a princess. Alright, thanks for watching. Good evening.